March 25th, 1911. They were searching for streets paved with gold to save them. But the streets weren't paved at all, and they were expected to pave them. They paid their debt to America in blood, and were only held together by solidarity and love. And the trip across the sea was bad enough, adding up to weeks of bad conditions, after which they'd had enough. And after that ordeal came Ellis Island, daunted by the future and haunted by the world they'd left behind them. Some still clung to the prayers that their fathers said, and others put their faith in a struggle based on class instead. But all are simply finding their way through like a lost child, and the new world to them is alien and kind of hostile. And as far as work went, they took what could be got, and that was a sweatshop lot. Slave labour for a boss. The dream that they'd envisioned seemed distant because they'd come to flee oppression, but this wasn't much different. And the East Side was a proper ghetto in the first place, full of young flowers uprooted from their birthplace. And in a 10-story workplace making shirtwaist, the logic of it all plays out in the worst case, where Washington Place meets and intersects Green Street. The slaves were bonded on $1.50 each week. Now, there'd been strikes before, but thoughts of workers' power are kind of hard to come by after working 14 hours, and conditions in the place were kind of typical. It was that same old all-day, low-pay, no-breaks ritual. The principal exits remained locked from without, keeping all the workers in and the propaganda out. And what's more, fabric lace scattered on the shop floor, and a boss roars if he sees peeps gazing at the locked door. So one spring day, through all that inner city clamouring, all went to work, but only some came back again. And the fire escape was locked, and it can't take the strain. And the sound of flames contended with cries of pain, and the stairwells inaccessible and the elevators blocked, and all the while that main door out remains locked, and time seems to stop. Then it gets real fast, and desperate workers fling themselves down the elevator shaft, but nothing awaits them. That whole ship had sunk. It was meet death in the fire or meet death with a jump. NYFD showed up, but they're just not strong enough. The flames are too much, and the ladders were not long enough, and it's only the workers hit the hardest. The bosses scarpered to the roof the second the fire started. And who knows if the old country flashed before the eyes of over 100 workers in the moment that they died, punished by the greedy for trying to earn a crust. It's like ashes back to ashes, and the same for the dust, because they were searching for streets paved with gold to save them. But the streets weren't paved at all, and they were expected to pave them. Thank you.